You know, for the most part, we came out and we played hard. I'm unsatisfied with our defensive effort on the floor. You know, that's pretty much the staple of our program and where we're trying to hang our hats. And we allowed the team to shoot 56%. And, you know, I was concerned because they really start four guards and they present matchup problems. And, you know, it's just tough to defend. And Dana Smith is a wonderful player. And, you know, he's basically an inside-out guy. And, you know, he just gave us fits. You know, he gave us everything that we wanted. And, you know, I was just disappointed. I think it was from the 10-minute mark on where we was up 13. And, you know, I called 2 timeouts and I said, drive the basketball, no more jump shots. And, you know, get the ball inside to Dijon, at least let him touch it. And we just got out of pocket. We took 2 jump shots. We went in the bonus situation. And, you know, it's just signs of a young, inexperienced team. You know, we have to grow. We have to continue to develop. And, you know, we got to continue to work hard and exercise our principles so, you know, they can benefit us on the floor.
Well, it was another situation, a little different from the other 2 wins. You had a lead, they came back, and you were able to hang on at the end. But once again, they did what you asked to do. You gave it to C.J. Wilkerson down the stretch, and he hit those free throws when we needed them.
Yeah, anytime it's a close ball game, you know, my experience was just get a ball to your best player and let him make a play. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. That's everything with CJ. You know, I think he had a couple of bad turnovers prior to that point, but, you know, I told him I had extreme amount of confidence in him, and I wanted him to just make up for it. So he pretty much came off. We ran a double ball screen for him, and we thought it would give him trouble, and we had Dijon at the top of that ball screen rolling down to post up. So in case they had strong on CJ. So fortunately, we got some ball screen action, and you know, we were able to get fouled and convert the free throws.
How important was it for Dijon Mans to have another pretty good performance in the post after scoring a career-high 24 points? It's really easy for some players to get a big head and follow up a 24-point performance with a big dud, but here tonight he was able to get 15 points. Only 1 turnover as opposed to the 5 in the last contest. I know there's some other things you obviously wanted to work on as far as rebounding and maybe on the defensive end, but still pretty good night out of him.
Right. You know, I had to remind myself, and, you know, throughout this transition, you know, I got to exercise patience, and that's not my biggest quality. So, you know, I'm steadily praying on that each and every day. But, you know, in reference to Dijon, you know, I just have to have patience with him because he's coming along, and I had to remind myself that this kid is just a freshman. And, you know, he's been thrown in the fire. And he's playing against superior D1 talent. And what you're seeing now is what we've always seen in him. It was just a matter of him, you know, just having the commitment to work hard every day so, you know, it could reflect his play on the floor. And on the basketball floor, on the offensive end, you know, he was 7 for 12 and thought he got bumped a couple of times, and I thought he wasn't as physical as he needed to be at times. But you know, we just wanted to play through him. And, you know, he's been our go-to guy in the post. And, you know, he makes it just life easier and takes a tremendous amount of pressure off of our perimeter guys. On the defensive end of the floor, you know, he and I had a conversation in the locker room. He has to get much better. He's standing and he's being a bit lethargic. And we'll go back and we'll watch tape and we'll come in tomorrow and, you know, go back at war, you know. But that's typical of freshmen. You know, the defensive end of the floor is where it's difficult for them to grasp as opposed to the offensive end of the floor. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Vincent Davis came off the bench, gave you 34 good minutes, 23 points, 9 of 12 from the field. I mean, he seemed to really be in that zone offensively. Hit some big shots for you down the stretch as well.
Right, he's taking good shots, and what, you know, he had 24 on a Swecker, so, you know, we really emphasized in the game plan to drive the ball at him. You know, we felt like out of their perimeter players, you know, he was the one that we could attack on the defensive end of the floor. So, you know, Vince hit a couple of shots early on, and I think that gave him a little confidence, and he drove it and made some big buckets to pretty much stop their runs.
What did you tell the team during in that run where Longwood made their comeback? It really seemed like the team and you guys never really lost any focus, didn't panic, didn't think, oh, here we go again, but you certainly seemed to have a lot of poise down the stretch.
Well, you know, one thing this brutal schedule has taught us is to maintain our poise. We've pretty much seen it all, you know, playing in front of 20,000 in Carolina Blue and 18,000 in Assembly Hall in Indiana, and, you know, on the road here and there. We pretty much seen it all. So, you know, we're road warriors, and I just think our road experiences have really helped us and we really relied upon those experiences at home. So when teams make a run, when we maintain our poise. I may be over there screaming, but, the guys are pretty much at ease. And when we're in the huddle, I settle them down. And, we just go back to war because there's no need of looking in the past. So, the guys just made significant plays at significant times again. And, that's pretty much always going to determine the outcome. The fans think it's a good game. I would like to blow it by 15 or 20. That's easy on me, but they're not going to allow me to do it. They make me earn every dime I get.
Well, you move on. Quick turnaround, and I tell you what, this is a turnaround where I guess I have you questioning. You got one of the top teams in the Big South. They could have 22 wins. They were in overtime against Radford tonight. Coastal Carolina, Cliff Ellis, former Clemson and Auburn head coach. So this is going to be another tough challenge. But you know what? They've got to come here and take on a very tough Eagles squad who may be 7-20, but, we're going to give them a test, right? Yeah,
this is probably one of the most talented mid-major teams who will play this year. They have no weaknesses. They're extremely good. They're extremely good. We definitely have our hands full, from myself on down to the last man on the bench. So we're going to go watch tape tonight and come in tomorrow and try to develop a game plan to see what we can expose and take advantage of some of their weaknesses, which is very, very rare, when you're speaking upon Coastal Carolina. And Cliff Ellis, wonderful guy. Just a tremendous coach. I just remember watching him growing up. And he really put Clemson on the map back in the days with Dale Davis and the Grant kids and Grayson Marshall and, those guys. So wonderful coach, wonderful history, wonderful tradition. So we definitely have our hands full, but we welcome and embrace the challenge.
Coach, once again, congratulations on your third straight victory, and best of luck on Monday.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
That was head coach Levelle Moton. We'll take one more timeout, come back, and put the final wraps on today's broadcast as the Eagles win at 81-78, and you heard it live right here on the NCCU Sports Network.